Hello students, today we will be discussing about how foreign trade has resulted in integration of market. Markets have come together due to foreign trade. First, choice of goods increases because of MNCs, etc., globalization. We are having more choice. Earlier we had very few choice. Only the local manufacturers are manufacturing for us. Now multinational MNCs, they are manufacturing for us. So choice has increased. Price of similar goods tends to become equal. Suppose this chalk is suppose costing $1. The chalk box is costing $1 in US. Nearly $1 it can be in India also. This is due to integration of market, globalization. The same company is manufacturing at both the places. So nearly equal, not exactly equal. Now producers can compete into two different countries very closely. Different car companies, MNCs, are selling their cars in India. One is Japanese company, some other companies from US or Europe are competing in Indian market. So although they are very far off, but in a particular market they are competing with each other. So this is how the MNCs or the foreign trade has integrated the market. Clear? Okay, next is the liberalization of foreign trade. In India, the government had had used trade barriers. Trade barriers means one example is tax on import. Tax on import is an example of trade barrier. And Indian government used these kind of trade barriers to regulate trade. Regulate means control whether they want to increase the import or decrease the import. Suppose goods are coming from a particular country, A country to India, and Indian government want to reduce the import. It will impose heavy import duty. Where the thing which is coming to India is costing 100 rupees and government says okay, 100% tax. Now this particular commodity will be costing 200 rupees in India because 100 rupees is the cost and 100 rupees is the tax. So it will reduce the import. The people will not purchase then, or it is very costly. They will not purchase. So this is a way to control the international trade. Now if government want to increase the import, government can say okay, we are reducing the tax. Now it is only 5%. 100 rupees the cost, it will be costing 105 rupees. So this is way by which government can control the foreign trade, regulate the foreign trade, control the foreign trade. This also help in protecting the producers, local producers. This Indian manufacturer is manufacturing this chalk, and this chalk is very easily available at a very low price in China or US or any other country. And if chalks from those countries are coming to the Indian market, this Indian brand will not be able to compete with those MNCs, multinational companies. And the reason is because they are massive, like resourceful, powerful. They are having better technology. Indian producer may not be able to compete. So till 1991, Indian government was of opinion that we should not promote liberalization or globalization. We will control the foreign trade. We will regulate so that the local producers can develop themselves. And every country in the world has used these trade barriers at the initial years. Afterward, they adopt the policy of liberalization. Now, in 1991, we adopted the policy of liberalization, in which we adopted this liberalization, and the reasons were, now our companies were able to compete with the multinational companies, and competition will also increase the quality. This competition will increase the quality. If there are more producers, the companies will try to do more and more research work, development work, will provide the goods and services at a reasonable cost. Second, it was supported by many international organizations. This decision of Indian government, okay, if you are opening, it's very good, like WTO, etc. There were many such organizations which supported this decision. So we removed the trade barrier, and this removing trade barrier is also known as liberalization. So liberalization, the definition can be removing trade barriers, restrictions of the government, and next is about WTO, World Trade Organization. WTO or World Trade Organization is an international organization which helps to develop the international trade. It tries to make rules regarding international trade, and it promotes liberalization and globalization. There are certain negative points also about that. They are somewhat controlled by developed countries. So they are forcing the developing countries to open their market. Most of the industries are owned by Western powerful countries like USA or West European countries or Japan, etc. And WTO is forcing the developing countries like Asian countries or African countries to open their market. Now, these companies will get a big market in Africa or Asia. So, directly, indirectly, they are supporting the powerful countries. So, that is negative also. Otherwise, the main aim of WTO is to make fairer rules regarding international trade. So, that is the aim of WTO. And in 2014, there were around 160 countries member of WTO. Next is what is the impact of globalization on India? An important question is asked. What is the aim of impact of globalization? When we talk about impact of globalization, there are always two faces of the coin. There are some good impacts and some are not very good. If we talk about good, impact of globalization, investment has increased. Foreign investment in India has increased due to globalization. Many companies have invested money. You can see after 1990s the number of companies which have come up in India. Top Indian companies have been benefited. Have been benefited by globalization. The names are given like Ranbaxy, Asian Paint, Tata Motors. So there are many Indian companies which have come up as a big companies, multinational companies. They are selling their product globally. Sundaram Fasteners. Next is new opportunities. Especially in the field of IT, computer. There are many new opportunities which have come up. India is like a software giant. We are making software for different countries of the world. Because particularly in software developing, we are like leader in the world. Because our engineers are doing very well, especially in IT sector. We are earning huge foreign exchange by making these softwares. So these are the new opportunities for Indian companies. And when we talk about the factors also which have enabled globalization, in that also technology is the most important factor. Technology, especially communication technology, IT, internet, etc. This have enabled the globalization. Transport communication technology, very easily we can transport the goods, and IT, software, etc. Where through internet we are connected with the world. So these are the factors which have enabled globalization also. So Indian companies have been benefited, new opportunities have come up, foreign investment has increased. But on the other side, there are negative impact also. Like especially for workers, they are not having job security. Workers are lose their job security. They can be thrown out of their job. Second, small producers have been also adversely affected by it. The small producers are unable to compete with a multinational company. If any particular thing which is manufactured by a local producer, how it can compete with a big company? Massive power. Marketing team are there, they are having a lot of money, they can sell their things at a very competitive price, which an Indian producer cannot sell. So, negative impact if we see, one is for the workers, now they are not having job security. Local companies, they are facing problem that they are unable to compete. So these are two. There are many people have lost their jobs, and local companies. Now, in your NCERT book only, there is one given debate on this globalization. Yeah, WTO, etc. They are forcing the local, the developing countries to reduce subsidy, open their market, and on the other side, the powerful countries, they are using their trade barriers. They are forcing us, okay, you don't use any kind of trade barrier, but US or the other powerful countries, they are using trade barrier. So it is not fair. WTO, etc. They are not working in a proper manner. There are some stories given in NCERT book. Those stories are also important. Workers losing their job, and there are benefit also. The small producers, sometimes they supply goods to the MNC. So some are benefited, some are in great trouble. So both the phases are there. Clear? Next is what can be done for fair globalization? Okay, there is one more important point, that what can be done to attract MNCs. The state government and central government are setting up special industrial zones known as SEZ, Special Economic Zone. Special Economic Zone. These are the areas which are reserved for MNCs to set up industries. MNCs can set up their industry, and these SEZs are having world class facilities for water supply, electricity supply, roads, etc. So they are given these areas. Okay, you start up your industry here, we will be giving proper roads here, making roads, water supply will be proper, electric supply will be there. Even tax benefits are given. If for initial few years, they will be given some tax benefit. Then flexibility in the labor laws. In the previous chapter, that is sectors of Indian economy, organized sector is controlled by the rules which are made up by government. To attract MNC, government has said, okay, we will give you some flexibility in those labor laws. You need not to hire people for the whole year. Suppose a industry is seasonal in nature, they are given the relaxation. Okay, you can hire when you require. So these kind of relaxations have been given to the MNCs. These are different ways by which government is attracting the MNCs. And this is also an important question. And one of the most important question of the chapter is fair globalization. What can be done for fair globalization? Proper, good globalization. Because globalization is having a positive and negative both points. Dark side and fair side. Good. So, how it can be made better? For this first, for fair globalization, the first point, policies must be made with support, protect all people. Government should make policies which protect all people, not only the rich and powerful. The people who are very rich, the policy will support those people, big industrialists. It should support the common people. Second, labor laws. Labor laws regarding job security, medical benefit, or etc., gratuity, pension, PF. So such labor laws should be strictly followed. Government should support the small producers. In front of MNC, a small producer cannot stand. Government should support the small producer. Okay, we will give you raw material at a reasonable rate. We will give you some subsidy on electricity. Water supply, we will give you some subsidy. So the small producers are able to compete those companies, MNCs. And for initial years, it is very necessary. Similarly, trade barriers can be used. Trade barrier, just now we have discussed import duty is an example of trade barrier. Such trade barriers can be used to protect the local companies. And we are not the only developing country in the world. There are many such countries which are developing countries like India. So along with those developing countries, we can negotiate with WTO. Negotiate with WTO to make fairer rules. The rules should be made better, which are beneficial for the countries like India, developing countries like India. So this is also necessary. This question can be asked in 5 marks also. So important question, how globalization can be made better, what steps government can take. So these are the different steps. Other than this positive negative impact, the stories which are given, then how MNC expand its production different ways. So these are some long answers which can be framed. I think the chapter must be clear.